Alright, here we go, everybody. We are going to be entering our final best of 5 of the day. We will be spawning directly on top of Quantic.Golden. This is the blue Zerg in the top right of the map going up against Stardust.Light. We actually have these players being sort of ex-teammates of each other, as Stardust.Light is on Light. Golden used to be Golden Light, but now Golden is on Quantic, so we have a sort of team game-ish, but not really. It's just kind of a fun little thing to note. But the most important thing to note is the fact that the winner of this series gets to go to the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore LAN, which is insanity. $82,000 prize pool. It's incredible, and the fact that players have made this so far is an incredible testimony to just how skillful that they really are. But we've got to give a big thank you to sponsors as well. We've got Intel, Patriot Memory, as well as BenQ. So it's a great set of sponsors that literally all do a lot for gaming, PCs, computers, and just all general around good nerddom. So with that nerdiness that we can just be thankful for, we've got the nerdiness that we can also just watch and enjoy, because we have Sunlight or Stardust.Light just playing a PvZ, which is always a treat to see. He does a lot of cool things with multi-pronged attacks, going for a really interesting PvZ involving double upgrades, where he goes for a second forge and starts getting out his armor upgrades as well as attack upgrades. And we also see him doing this harassment with his probe, just doing little small annoying things where he will just prevent the double stack and trying to just harm the efficiency of those drones mining. We also have my voice starting to rebel against the fact that I have been casting solo for a little while, so we're going to see possibly some horse casting coming from me later on, depending on how my voice holds up. That could be entertaining. I'd be like, and we see the death happening. I'll sound like an old man and just be like, what is going on? It'll probably amuse you guys a little bit, though. That's usually how that kind of stuff goes. But Golden has got his pool about to complete. His hatchery has been thrown down without too much delay. Stardust is just running around with this probe, just doing a little bit of scouting. He knows that this pool is done by now, so he's just going to go ahead and start retreating and making sure that he can just be as effective as he can. Looks like he's going to try and time it so that with he can see the eggs starting and knows that he can get away as late as possible. Who knows? Maybe he'll try and do something weird. His forge has now completed, so he could theoretically do some kind of forge shenanigans, maybe at the third or something, but he's not gonna do it. There's no real need to do it. So he's just gonna go ahead and sit here at the watchtower and then retreat when he sees the lings. There you go, sees the lings, retreats. He'll be able to keep this probe alive, and looks like Golden will be chasing it with this ling, although it's going to be hard pressed to actually find it, unless he gets the vision of, oh, he barely, yep, he sees it. Such small ways, and there we go, another link's going to come forward, and it's going to be, this probe will not be able to throw down any kind of hidden pylons or proxy pylons along the map. But we just saw Golden play a PvZ against Boyo, 4-Knots Boyo, and Golden kind of slaughtered him with cheesy play, too. It was just time to win in less than 10 minutes for every single game, including this map. Oh god, Stardust is doing the exact same wall that Boyo did, which is a non-wallin. But Stardust is going for a Zealot that may be key for scouting and everything, but we saw Golden on this map go for a slow ling all-in that just beat Boyo. He got to the main base, he baited him out with an Overlord so that Stardust, or the Boyo wasn't able to actually go forward and see the links coming in to get the wall off in time. We are seeing that Stardust is going to be a little more proactive with the wall and throw down a pylon, and he's going to get out another Zealot to work on both scouting as well as defending, because we have one Zealot going off and to scout, and the other one will come back to defend. Unless he sees an opportunity for him to do a lot of damage, which is probably not going to be the case. But there we see this Zealot here at the watchtower. This Queen is now going to be invested in taking down that Zealot. Wow. I mean, if we look at Golden's unit count, we do see that there are 3 Queens out. So he is going to be losing some form of larva injects with this one. Because, oh wait, no, he's not, because the third's not done yet. So it's actually okay. He could literally invest the time in it without it being too big of a deal. He's got his creep spreading as well between his bases, and there we have this Overlord. No gases yet. Maybe we'll see. I don't think we're going to see the Ling play because he is still droning. Plus, he's getting a lot more queens now as well. But here Stardust going for this Robo, but we might see a Twilight Council coming from him now that his ground weapons is halfway done, and another Forge could also be going down if we're going to be seeing his double upgrade PVZ. This probe is going to be putting down something, but what will it be? Forge, Twilight Council. We've got his double Forge play coming in, and we're going to see him getting his +2 attack starting at the same time as his +1 armor. And that's going to be a really important little bit to see. Looks like Golden may not be able to get that scout, though. He's going to be really close for it. Nope. He does not get that scout, but the Robo is now down. Getting down that Observer, so he will be able to get some scouting information. But Golden just pushed forward with that Overlord, and he sees the Robo and pulls back. But the problem is, Golden's going to be assuming Sentry Immortal play, as opposed to this weird double Forge style, where Stardust actually goes for a charge instead of Blink at the first, and he lets him be effective with pure Zealots, pretty much at any point in the game, because they have their charge research already done. And we can see how he's completely stalkerless right now, which is very, 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 very unique to him. A lot of people emphasize the stalkers to a very high degree, and now we're going to have the third base going down. This really seems to be Stardust.Light's favorite way to play PvZ, because he just has not deviated from this style in basically every PvZ that we've seen from him today. I mean, you gotta give him credit, he wins with it, but its predictability sometimes is going to be able to let him get predicted against. I mean, just think about Creator Prime and his PvT. For a long time, people would just cheese him in PvT or whatever, just because his macro in PvT was so strong, and you just didn't want to let him do it, so you cheese him. I feel like that's something that could be done against Stardust as well, but Stardust is very good at making sure that he can have a... very good at making sure he's safe. We see him doing things like this wall off. We see him making sure that his sentry count is high, that he gets the scout information, that he confirms the third, and he's not going to be able to confirm this over here in the top left. Golden going for a fourth base very, very quickly, but we've got a small push out from Stardust just to cover his third. He's not going to invest too much in really doing much of anything with this push. He's just going to try and take the watchtowers, show some threat, make Golden produce some non-drones, that kind of stuff. But Golden right now has got his infestation pit out. We see that the lair is not going into a hive, but a spire is halfway done. We are probably going to be seeing mutas coming out from Golden, which would be really great, especially in conjunction with this hatchery in the top left. He'll be able to go for a ton of mutas. I'm actually going to see this Immortal stay alive, and we're going to see, oh no, Stardust is continuing to push out. We're going to have some probes falling. 2 probes are now down. Possibly a third? No, we're just going to have Stardust now going to push back, maybe. But this Nexus taking a couple shots. I'm surprised Golden just didn't just target fire those couple probes. That would have been a nice bit of guaranteed damage. But it looks like Stardust did force Golden to pull back by just showing his forces, going out the creep, but Golden's now got even more links pushing forward. This is going to be potentially really bad. He's actually going to be doing a ton of damage to this Nexus, but now he's going to push forward, and he's taking down drones. So many drones are going down. We got these probes that are on hold position now. There's a force field going to lock in a couple of those links, but Golden is still going to be able to escape with a fair amount of them. In fact, he could probably pick off these cells if he wants to be really greedy about it, but look at the upgrades. Some Stardust is now 2-1. Golden's now attacking. He's doing actually a lot of damage to this Nexus. He's doing real damage to it. It's not just shield damage, but there we have the top left. Looked like it was actually cancelled. I think he canceled that because I didn't see any red going up there. Unless I got that wrong, in which case, my bad, but he looks like he just canceled that fourth. He's going for mutas. He's got 5 mutas on the way. Don't believe any are out. Yo, there's actually a bunch of units out. There we go. There's actually 9 mutas, but we gotta see if he's gonna overcommit to the mutas. But right now, Stardust only has these 7 sentries. There's now some stalkers coming in, but talk about late stalkers. Now Golden's gonna do some guaranteed harassment here against those probes. They're gonna be forced to retreat straight to the main base, but Golden has not lost any mutas yet. But he's got some links. He's forcing cancellation over here, so it's gonna be a really nice set of attacks coming out from Golden. Playing very solidly, and now he will commit to getting that 4th base up. And that's going to give him a lot of gas income. He's going to be able to do so much damage. We got the DT Shrine now out, but will we have that attack coming in? There we go. DT's a natural expansion. We have now had a fair amount of workers killed by both of these players, but as far as the presence of DTs go, there's an observer down here, and that is the only invisible unit on the map outside of the bases of sunlight. Stardust.Light. But now Golden's got this base done. He's got 3 harvesters in here. I just don't know where they are. They're transferring over there. So they're going to go ahead and start mining there. But oh my god, so many lings, so many mutas. They're going to kill off that Nexus very easily. But that's going to be a little bit of an interesting battle because there's not that much anti-air. These lings can do a great bit of damage against those stalkers and everything. The muta count is actually up at the 18. That's a fair amount. We're going to have a couple blink stalkers doing some nice bits of damage. But not that much anti-air is down, and this is going to be a lot of damage done to Stardust. Look at how far he's delayed. He was trying to get his 4th before, and now he's rebuilding his 3rd. A DT is making its way across the map, but Golden is expanding yet again. So now pushing forward, we got the Lynx, the Mutas pushing forward. They might be able to force. There's another force cancellation over there, and Golden will just retreat. He's got this these Lynx attacking the cannons. They will kill those, but they have force fields. We're doing a great job of helping the stalkers, but the Mutas are continuing to engage. We're down to 14 Mutas, but look at the damage that's being done. Blink 4 will accomplish nothing. If you have an observer there, that overseer could actually help in the disruption of that observer's life, but it is not disrupted yet. It is still happily there. Alright, so now Golden's going to push forward and come back, and we see that this Hash is taking a little bit of damage from the DT. There we see it does, he's always trying to block it in. You can do hold position to make sure that the DT can't really do much of anything. We're going to see it going to take down a couple drones. 1 drone down, 2 drones, 3, 4... and that's a pretty successful DT. And now it's going to push forward, takes out maybe 1 Ling. Actually, I don't think it got that 1 Ling down, but still, nice bit of damage. Taking down those drones can be a long time before those are replaced because it's a very, very large rush distance to try and get over there. But the 3rd is now halfway done, and we have Archons now out for Stardust. He is great with his High Templar management. His Side Storms are impeccable. But we see that he actually used the DTs to go those. But oh, he actually lets them in. Oh no, the Lynx are now going to be going straight into the main base. But we're seeing him morphing into a couple of Zealots. But this is going to be actually a fair amount of damage done. We're going to see that this Forge may end up being targeted, and it is getting targeted, and that is going to go down. There's not going to be a +3 armor upgrade for those ground units. That's a little bit unfortunate, but still, Stardust is getting out his shield upgrades. We have more Lings coming in. Actually, he's going to be able to stop the shield upgrade as well. That's going down, but we have Archon trying to get forward over there, and killing off that Forge does succeed, but now we're going to have these Lings pushing forward. They're going to actually end up just dying now. Their lives have officially ended. But look at the supplies. Golden 172 to Stardust's 154. Stardust is really not that far behind. So even though Golden has killed a lot of fancy things, so the forges, the bases, and everything, Stardust hasn't lost that many units themselves. So we can see just how much has been lost. It is very much in favor of Stardust. But the problem is Golden's going to be able to produce so much more with all that income, so we can afford to trade. So trading is a lot more expensive for Stardust than it is for Golden. They're having a lot of forces. Whoa, hey, infestors! Look at all those infestors. You know, with the fungal doing so much damage. You say infested Terran are going to be doing a lot of damage as well, but there's actually a fair amount of them. 9 are doing some damage. More coming out now, but these Protoss forces can just retreat. These infested Terran are very slow, and they actually barely get movement bonus on creep. It's kind of sad, because they still get the bonus. But look at this 1 health immortal. What? But now we're having a bunch of Lings coming in, surrounding the entire army. We even have changelings into the battle. There's the Stalkers blinking so that the mortals are even more vulnerable than before. But there, that army is now down, and Golden has taken a much better battle over there. Much better battle for him there. But now Stardust is mixing a DT with his mainly Zealot forces, but because of the early muta play, he was not able to get charged like he would want to normally with this style. But look at the Warp Prism filled in with 4 Zealots. They do not have charge. It's going to be a lot less effective with their harassment. When they're pushing forward, we've got these Archons now morphing. They're actually going to be able to get taken out before they can actually complete. That's a huge loss for Stardust. There we see that gets 1 shot up, and now you have a Lings, a ton of infested Terran pushing forward. We've got the Overseer here now, so this Dark Templar can get seen. Gold is continue to push forward. He kills the Nexus yet again. Oh my god. The DT, though, is actually unscathed. He's getting a couple kills. There we go. Now it's lost some shields, but that's nothing. He's okay with that. So there we have the Nexus being put down. Once again, the Zealot Harass has commenced inside its natural expansion. Going to try and take down the Greater Spire. But that is looking like it's not going to succeed. The Observer, the Overseer may actually follow the War Prism and try and chase it down. There is a movement speed upgrade for the Observer, the Overseer, and the Overlords, but now we're actually seeing this Greater Spire taking a lot more damage. This might actually work and killing it off because there's not anything else to deal with this, and now we're actually having Gold's going to allow this to happen. Oh, that's so bad. He loses the Greater Spire. He didn't even get any Corruptors or anything out, and now Star's going to continue harassing. This fourth base has now been scouted and everything, but you know what? There's no more Greater Spire. But Golden does have another Spire somewhere on the map, and there it is, its main base, morphing into a Greater Spire. This is going to be a much faster Greater Spire than would be really expected by Stardust, because he just killed the Greater Spire. He didn't know that there was a double Spire going on, but hey, look at this top left base. Look at this DT killing the top left. Nice job, DT. He definitely does a good job for his little work. He's a nice invisible sniper unit. Now we're seeing pushing forward more. Oh, Psystorm now going down there. We're starting to see the storms going down on a lot of those infested Terran, getting them killed before they can really do much of anything. But more importantly, really, you can see feedbacks, and Stardust has impeccable feedbacking skills. Impeccable feedbacking skills. It's actually seriously, it's kind of scary to see what he can do with it. But this DT has completely eliminated the top left. There's not even any creep here from the hatchery that was there. It is now long gone. But we are just watching Stardust really doing a great job of just being aggressive. We've got these Corruptors here waiting to become Broodlords. This Greater Spire is so close to being done, but it takes 100 seconds to complete. That is such a long time in StarCraft years. It's like dog years. They're just so long. Alright, so now Stardust is going to keep pushing forward. We've got these 4 Templar getting a little bit of energy. These Lings are going to need to run away, and they will do so. There's still no charge on these Zealots. Stardust really is going to need to get that shortly, but we've got the aggression going to be halted from the War Prism side of things. Oh my god, never mind. He missed the fungal. He missed the fungal. He missed 2 fungals. There we go. He lands the fungal. Finally gets it, but 3 fungals to kill off that War Prism, and it draws the army completely away. This is going to allow Stardust to take down this hatchery. We even see him pushing a few units here to make sure he has time to kill off the hatchery, and there it goes. It does fall. I'm curious what the voting is saying right now for you guys, saying who you think is going to be winning. It looks like Golden's got a lot of votes. Wow, alright. So Golden's got a hefty portion of those. If you guys, it's not too late, go to xanderfever.tv/vote, because this game is far from done. We do have Broodlords now out. 6 Broodlords, and the anti-air is rather lacking. We have Fungals landing on all of those Stalkers. They are blinking back a little bit, but these Broodlings are doing definitely a good work of damage. They are 2-2. Continue to push forward. We've got the Broodlords themselves with their +1 attack and +2 on the way, so they're going to be quite strong. We have a little bit of harassment here with that Stalker, but look at this. Look at how many drones are there. Oh my god, Golden. That's called oversaturation. Seriously. Now we see him pushing forward. We do have a Psystorm landing on a lot of those Infestors. Actually takes down an Infestor there. Nice little job there, but ooh, here's some more shots going off on these Templar. They're going to try and get some more damage done. This Templar does have 9 kills. That's a nice kill count for a Templar, but oh, if we get Fungal in that probe line, that would be great, but no, look at the War Prism count too. We got 2 War Prisms here, and they're just going to see this game picked off by the Corruptors without any problems whatsoever. That base goes down now, and we're going to be having so many units just going forward. Golden's being forced back, though. This harassment is just ever continuing as these Stalkers are trying to do so much, and this base has been put up yet again, and we have Lings there and an Overseer. Just make sure DTs cannot be super annoying, but oh, the blink on top of those Infestors, taking them out is going to be such a nice help to Stardust, but at what does it really matter a whole ton? Because if we look at these supplies and look at the Broodlord count, how much can actually be done by Stardust? He's down 50 supply. He's getting a baseline in the bottom right, but look about how many Nexi he has really lost in this game. So many. So many. And now we see Golden is going to probably be assaulting this and scouting soon. I mean, we literally have a double expand happening right now from Stardust, but only one of the expansions is actually to a new place. It's really scary to try and see a Protoss trying to double expand, because usually it's just one base at a time for Protoss, and very rarely does that ever change. But now we're going to have the death of that. He even corrupted he corrupted the Observer. That's such overkill. Oh my god. Alright, so now we're going to push forward as we do have some shots we taken. Look at that observer. Oh, the Infestor. I keep calling things observers. This Infestor had 1 health left. But now we're going to see, oh, that's Infestor's now dead. Psystorm more than enough to deal with that. We see a feedback taking down another Infestor, bringing it into many, many different chunks. This high tempo has got enough for 2 storms. There we're seeing another big assault happening. Fungals are landing. This is big Psystorms going down now, and more Psystorms going down now. These Broodlords, though, are still very much healthy, and the Infestors are just happily over there. We're going to start seeing the natural expansion getting assaulted here. This wall is going to dissipate very quickly, but these Stalkers are going to try and be annoying, try and force Golden into a different area. They may go ahead and check that base over there yet again and try and deal with that, but we actually, oh, there we go. There the Lings killing off that bottom right base. Golden is just denying bases left and right, doing an amazing job of it as he is streaming forward, doing so much. We have a lot of these Lings getting assaulted. I mean, the Lings doing the assaulting against these Stalkers. They are just taking so many losses. Fungal's going to prevent all the blink. There is GG called. Golden takes game number 1 against Stardust in an incredibly fun way.